Hey, my friend, help me remember your name again, please. Christina. Is the sound consistent, or what does it need to do? Does it need to come up a little bit, or can you hear this okay, or is it not consistent?
Sounds fairly consistent.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now, kind of here too, with the cross sound?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to check now the audio for our camera. Oh! I don't worry for the future. I just live from day to day. I don't borrow. Let's check that sound. It's a good song though. Okay, that's a good one, yeah. Okay, here we go. Great, I'm gonna eat my drink and we'll start. George Washington, the founder of our country. First president, right? George Washington. Can you hear me okay? We're doing a sound check. Can you hear me okay? Okay, great. Help me again with your name. Christine. Christina, okay. Christina.
Not English.
Yeah? Tell me about that. Christine is not English? Does it work for English or it isn't?
It isn't.
Oh, I didn't know that. Tell me where that is. Does it have to be German?
It's actually Greek.
Greek, okay. Wow.
People mistake it all the time. They want to say English, but it's Greek.
Is it? Yeah, where does it derive from, or what other names or words come from that? Christine. Christ? Christo? I don't know.
Believer in Christ.
Huh?
Believer in Christ.
Yeah, that makes sense for that kind of name, huh? Great. Do you happen to, are you believe in Christ?
Yeah.
Oh, it works out then. It will work out for you, huh? Great. Well, let's see if we can get this going here with our lighting such as it is. And it being almost 5 o'clock, we now see the hour is about arrived. And as a founder of our country, one of them, right? One of them, George Washington said, he said, when it was time for the meeting or whatever, he said, well, are the guests arrived yet for the meeting? And apparently George Washington said, it's not, has the man arrived, has the hour arrived. So whether that's true or not, if he said it or not, sounds good, it's going to make a great movie someday. Somebody ought to make a movie about George Washington, right? Imagine that. So, listen, we're going to start today with something pretty simple. I want to say welcome to Colton First Christian Comedy Club, second month, second week, yes. And we have our very special guests here tonight, Brian Petrasek, Juan Cias, ladies and gentlemen, the very funny professional Juan Cias. For those of you watching at home on the internet, all across America, all across the internet, right? Amen. Tucker Carlson, right, needs to get washed in the blood of the Lamb. That's all there is to it. And President Rittenhouse, Brandon, King, they're next. So I want to say this is a show, it's a comedy show, so if you see anything in here that either you don't get, right, it's not for you, it's for him, probably. Jokes, that's a good one. And then we tried to make it easy for some people to, so we got a lot of different comics here. I'll start out with a song. If you know the song, you can sing. Otherwise, the first comic we got coming up, it looks like Brian Petrasek will be up next. No, first we got Dr. G in just a second. But I want to start by introducing Dr. G. Come on up, my friend.
Are you going to sing?
I'm going to sing in a minute, but you're going to be up here with me. Yeah? He is a music teacher. One of them, for years he was at Colton High. He was a music teacher at Colton High, right? Dr. G. Yeah. Come on over here. You got to be in the line here. Yeah. We're going to sing a song. I don't know if he knows it, but he can sure do one of these things here, right? Yeah. I was once a sinner, then I came, pardon to receive from my Lord. This was freely given, and I found that he always kept his word. Well, there's a new name written down in glory, and it's mine. Oh, yes, it's mine. on the wide road, angels will sing the story. A sinner has come home. Well, there's a new name written down in glory. Gotta stay in tune, and it's mine. Oh, yes, it's mine. With my sins forgiven, I am bound for heaven, nevermore to roam. Amen. Praise the Lord. Okay. Now we are going to start with our friend Dr. G. He'll be giving a special greeting and then a special talk on the history of one of our most important churches here in Colton. A long time, Colton First Assembly of God. Here you go, Dr. G. Take it over.
I'm supposed to talk now. Hello, everybody. I'd like to welcome you all. And so this is our second effort. We started in December, and some of you were here last time. And so I'd like to thank you all for coming. And we're here at a nice place, at a nice restaurant, good people, and it's all fun. Let's give the restaurant a round of applause.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, very good. Last time I was here, I shared my favorite verse. And the verse that's in my mind that popped into my head today was John 14:6, where Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except by me. And that is really cool because Dr. G's motto is that it's all about Jesus. And so I think that's really important, really, really important. So I wanted to share with that. And then the message today, I want you to think about this little phrase that I heard this week. It says, Christianity is a lifestyle. Think about that just for a second. Think about that for a second. Because sometimes, you can go to church and you kind of mark it off on your calendar book, and then the rest of the week, what goes on. But take it out in the public, take it out in your everyday life, and share that with other people. And be a Christian. Don't just do it on Sundays or you check it out. Be one all the time. And this is a good outreach like this, just being out in public.
Amen.
So I want to share that with you, something to think about.
They need to get saved over there.
All right, very good.
I'm good.
So, the order of business, I was asked to talk a little bit about Colton First Assembly of God. And it's a big, tall order. And although it's not the first church in the city, it came a little bit later, it was very impactful in our city. And I can't catch all of the history in a 10-minute presentation, but I can talk about a few things, and I decided to pinpoint 3 milestones, 3 phases of the church, and I just wanted to share that with you tonight. Only take a few minutes. The first milestone is the name Jack Colburn. Think about that for a minute, and I'll tell you who he is in a minute, but he was 25 years as pastor of that particular church, and what he represented, what he did was really big and impactful. Number 2 was the building project of the First Assembly of God in Colton. And then number 3 was the community involvement about this church. So my job is to talk a little bit about history of these churches. Last time we talked about Centerpoint Church, I believe, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to briefly talk about each of these 3 milestones. Like I said, I can't cover the whole history of the church in 10 minutes. It's impossible. But I picked 3 milestones that I think you find is interesting. First of all, the first one was Jack Colburn. Who is this guy? He was born in Georgia, and at the time in the 1960s, he was working at a pasture in Southern California. I believe the name of the church was called Quail Valley Assembly of God, near Menifee, Wildomar, if you will. I'm not really sure that area too well, but I think it's in that area right there, between those two. And he was a pastor during the 60s. Him and his wife, LaVon, worked there. And so this guy's doing his thing, but he got a call that there was an opening in Colton at this church. And so he decided to go ahead and give it a try and check it out. And to make a long story short, in December of 1966, I believe it was, he came to the city of Colton. He hung out at the church, met the people that were there. They put him on the schedule to preach at that particular ceremony. They had lunch, said their goodbyes, and away on home they went. And they said, okay, we'll get in touch with you. Okay? That being said, so they're driving home, him and his wife, And he tells his wife, LaVon, hey, call the guy from the church and tell him that I'm not interested in the job. I find that very interesting. Well, the wife never made the call. So the next day, Colburn, he calls the church, and as soon as he got an answer on the phone, the gentleman that answered the phone said, hey, congratulations, you were just hired as the new pastor of the Colton Assembly of God Church. And there he started with us, and then he worked there for 20, 25 years or so. And so that was a long one. So we'll put him aside a little bit, but that was how he started, where he came from and how he got started. So there we go. Part 2 of the phase was the building program. And the building program started in 1945. The church started in 1945, and it was on the east side of Colton. And on the east side, it was a small church, about 150 people, on the corner of Larch and Ivy. And that went on for about 40 years. Fast forward to 1965, the pastors of that particular church got together with the church board, and they decided to purchase 2 acres of land over on Pennsylvania and Citrus Street. They purchased those 2. That was between 1965 and 1967. The problem with this, folks, there was this church on the east side of town, and this other church was located on the west side of town. And there was a big fight among the church, and they had a church split at that time, right in there. And the church split was because that property across the street was the Crane Toilet Company. And kitty corner to that was a cardboard company. So the split of the church at that time, was a big contention. They didn't want to be next to a toilet company. And number 2, the church was way on the outskirts of town. What in the world are we going to do out there? That's where the church started. So fast forward a little bit to 1967, Jack Colburn came in, and he went on a building program. He built this church right off the bat. In 1967, it was a 200-seat auditorium, which turned out to be a little kids' chapel. 10 years later, they built another building that was about 550-seat auditorium. 10 years after that, in 1988, he built a third building, which was seating 1,000 people, and it is an absolutely huge church. So that's the Jack Colburn part, and that is the part of the building program.
I remember him.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the part that deals with community involvement, that came a little bit later. Fast forward to 2006 under Jonathan Flores. And Jonathan took over the membership. The enrollment was about 100 people. He increased it to about 550 people membership, so he did a really good job. And he was committed to community involvement. And he said that he got a calling from God not to be just a pastor of just a church, but to be a pastor of an entire city. And that was his approach to this. And during that time, he increased the membership to 550 and got involved heavily in the city and in the school district. And there was 2 big shifts in the church at that time during his tenure. One was a shift in demographics. When he started in 2006, it was 80% Anglo and 20% Hispanic. And after 10 years, it flipped around to about 80% Hispanic and 20% Anglo. And as a result, he instilled a Spanish-speaking ministry, and they had a Spanish-speaking school at the church, and he did a great job. And then the second shift that he had.
Exactly. I need $100. Does anybody have $100? Thank you.
Hell yes. Love me some oldies. Love me some oldies, man.
Art LeBeau.
Art LeBeau, man. That's why I love driving to some Art LeBeau, man. Love cruising up and down the boulevard in San Bernardino listening to some Art LeBeau. If you don't know who Art LeBeau is, he's this very old DJ who just sends out shout-outs and dedications like the most random people. He's like, this next song goes out to Chewy. Chewy, this song's from Sad Girl. Sad Girl says she misses you. She'll see you in 6 months. 3 with good behavior. You're searching for my baby. Kisses.
What the heck?
Right on, man. I love it, dude. Guys, that's what the Srandall already announced there. I'm a mortician, you guys. I'm a mortician. I think of dead people for a living, you guys.
Yeah. All right.
That's my actual day job, you guys. And the past 2 years, I've made so much money, you guys. I've made so much
Wow.
money these past 2 years.
There's gold in them there holes.
It's insane how much, man. It's been crazy though. These past years have been too much, man. It gets overwhelming. You know, the amount of death I've had to deal with has been like a lot. But you know, it's like I'm grounded myself. I feel good about everything, man. But this past year has been crazy. All the people we've had pass away. You know, like all the COVID and everything. It's been really interesting. Shit, I got all distracted now. I'm all fucking deep into my head about that.
You need to take your
back to
ivermectin,
fun times.
dude. You didn't take your ivermectin.
Ivermectin? No, I have to start drinking my own pee now because they're out of ivermectin. You know?
That's
all the stores are out of the ivermectin, so I started drinking.
Better
my own
check
pee.
with Spotify.
Spotify's got all the hordes of it all of it, guys. No, but honestly, I've been enjoying. I've been a mortician for the past 15 years, you guys. 15 years I've been a mortician, you guys. It's been a crazy. I've seen a lot of stuff. Seen a lot of stuff in my line of work, guys. I'm grateful for everything I've ever done. I've seen a lot of stuff. Some of the most interesting stuff I get to do is like I get to be a fly on the wall on some of the most random family situations. Like I had to deal with these 3 sisters recently. They had their father pass away. Like we already had him in our care, but it was that appointment to set up the actual service date and everything. So I walk in the room, I sense this tension like immediately. We're like, you know, 2 of the sisters were getting along great, but there was one sister just stewing in the corner, just very upset, you know. Every so often I'd go through arrangements. The one sister would make a remark and the tension would just get worse. So at the very end of it, I asked her, who's going to take care of payment on this? Who's going to pay for all this? And that's when the one sister, she hands me her credit card. As she does so, she looks at the other 2 sisters and she's like, oh, well, you're not going to help on this at all? And that's when the tension finally just broke. The other 2 sisters were like, I knew you were going to do this. I swear to God. And they start just yelling at each other. I didn't know what to do in that situation. So I did the only thing I knew what to do. I grabbed the credit card and walked out of the room. I was like, all right, cool.
Nice. That's all you can do, man.
That's all I can do, man. So I'm in the next room, I'm processing the payment. Like a part of me is thinking, okay, they're yelling at each other, but this is good, this is healthy, this is a part of the grieving process, you know? Then I can see them start swinging on each other, and I was like, oh no, all right, gotta get back in there. So run back into the room, just, ladies, please calm down, please calm down. I know. This is a very emotional moment for all 3 of you. But I need you to come together now more than ever because her credit card declined. I need you to use another credit card right now because her card did not go through.
Oh,
man. Yeah, man. I brought that family together like a good mortician, you guys. That's my job, man. So good. So I've seen a lot of stuff being doing this for 15 years.
15 years?
I've been a mortician, man. Like, so this past 2 years have been crazy. I work for a very small funeral home. So, like, we're not as strict about certain things. Like, we're still having viewings for people that passed away from COVID. We have some rules though, we have some ground rules, like you can look but don't touch. Like we can offer our condolences and like this stick for poking, like that's all we can do. I'm sorry, it was sad.
Southwest Mortuary.
I work for a very small place, like so like we work with other small funeral homes, we try to help each other out. And I was working with one of their small funeral homes. They had one of their coworkers pass away from COVID, and it was like really sad because like when one of our own passes away, it's like we really feel it, you know, because like it's our brother in arms, you know, they passed away. And so I was talking to their workers, and they were just like, "Yeah, Luis passed away, man." I said, "Oh, I send my condolences. I'm sorry about that." So, yeah, it's okay, man. He's still with us. He's still in the cooler. We still got him in the cooler. The permit hasn't filed yet.
Wow.
Well, that's a good positive. That's a
came
good positive spin, you guys. That's what we got to do. We got to keep up the positivity
All right.
during this craziness of COVID, man. It's been so crazy. Yeah. So they were saying us to do a show here at the Christian Comedy Club. I was excited, you guys.
All right.
Yeah. I'm not like
It's different.
I'm at church constantly, guys. I went to a Christian service. I went to a Catholic service. We did a Muslim service just recently, guys. I'm at all the services, you guys. I'm at all the churches constantly. Yeah. This is a fun time. I'm excited to be out here. It's been crazy because, like, honestly, like this is kind of therapeutic for me because this past 2 years have been very, very insane, man. So like, I need to get out and start doing stuff. So thank you guys for coming out, supporting live comedy, and giving me a chance to talk in public and stuff. So yeah, because like I do public talking, but it mostly is for funerals. So it's just like it's weird. Like I was doing a funeral the other day and I forgot, like, because I also do comedy, so I had to like. I get the 2 mixed up every once in a while. It's kind of weird, you know.
Don't get them mixed
I'm
up.
going for the daughter, everybody. She's really sad. It doesn't work. It's just really awkward, man. But I love what I do, you guys. I love what I do. But I've seen a lot of stuff, you guys. Mostly male genitalia. I've seen way too many male genitalia. It's very uncomfortable, you guys.
All
it's
the
very
time.
uncomfortable.
Every time I
Like the male genitalia can do some weird things. Like I saw a man's down there, his testicles. Like he
man's
blew
down
up to
there?
like the size of a beach balloon, you guys. They can blow up to the size of a beach balloon. Like I
Wait.
sat there for hours trying to blow it up. Just
Beach balloon. Oh my God, that's
it just takes forever.
so funny. Wow.
Wow is right.
I don't know what to think about that. I'm gonna have to think about that one a long time now. Thanks.
That's the right response. Thank you, man. I enjoy this. Like I said, I've seen a lot of stuff, you guys. Been doing this for 15 years. I've seen so many things. One thing I've never seen is a dead midget.
Huh?
Yeah.
Never?
Never, ever. It's just weird because like I've been in the business for 15 years, and like every time I need to meet
Wow.
another mortician, that's always like one of the first questions I ask is, "Have you seen one?" Because like there are 10s of 20s of them out there, but like nobody's ever seen one. It's just so weird. Like so, I have weird theories about
Wow.
that.
What is the theory on that?
One of my theories is like either they have some sort of like weird Benjamin Button disease where they just get smaller and smaller and just disappear altogether one day.
Oh my! Hey, you know what? You've never seen it. Oh, wow. He might be onto something.
It makes sense. My other theory is like if you've seen Return of the Jedi, Star Wars. That scene with just Yoda just like dies, he just like
Yeah.
magically disappears.
Uh-huh.
Just like that's my other theory, you guys. So if you know a midget
Oh my!
and you go to their home one
True.
day and you just see like a tiny pair of clothing on the floor, just know they passed on to that next life, you guys. They passed on to that next life.
Just close.
It's just closed there. That's all that's left, you guys. Closure. Closure. Yeah, you guys, we're having fun, you guys. Like I said, like Srandall was saying, I'm Mexican. I'm from a big family. I got a lot of family, you guys. I got two Tia Marias, I got Tio Rogelio, I got Tio Porfirio. I got a Tio Coyote, you guys. Tio Coyote. Good old Tio Coyote. You don't know what that is? That's the guy that's running shit across the board.
I'm
Whether it's
telling you.
drugs, people, money, like that's the guy who's doing that stuff, man. Good times all around, provided by me, Tio Coyote, man.
Well,
Used
the
to give me the
rooster.
best advice growing up. He said to me, mijo, don't join a gang. You don't need that negativity in your lifestyle. You just get caught up in other people's charges. You don't need that, mijo.
What the heck?
God rest his soul, man.
Makes
God rest
perfect
his soul.
sense.
And he's not dead. He's just now locked up in prison. He now goes by inmate 201208882. Like, he's gone but never forgotten, you know? Like, we'll start to forget about him and the phone will ring. But this is a collect call from the California Corrections Institute. It's like, oh, it's Mateo, you guys. He's thinking about us again. To accept the charges, press 1. That's when I hang up, you guys. That's when I hang up.
Oh, you ran the credit card.
That's one thing my Theo has taught me is don't get caught up in other people's charges, you guys. Don't get caught up in those charges.
Oh, good. True.
I love my Theo, man. You guys, we're having fun. We're having fun here in Colton, you guys.
Boy, aren't we? Amen.
Amen, man. I'm
Who
happy
needs
to
a
be out
gardener?
here, man. At the Colton First Christian Comedy Club.
Right.
What happened to the counselor? Did he leave?
Oh,
Counselor.
yeah. You know, Dr. G might have.
Dr. G might have left, you guys.
Left.
He's got like appointments. He's got appointments.
Hey, he has a G on his card. He's like a superhero.
He
has a G on his
man. He's a superhero. He's a counselor here in Colton. You have to be a superhero, man.
Don't you?
You have to be, man. It's craziness out here. Yeah, but we're having fun. I love what I do, you guys. I love being a mortician. I love being a comedian, you guys. But it's weird. Before doing the mortuary work, I used to work for a pizza place, just delivering pizzas. Like there was a point in my life where I was doing both the jobs, and I was like getting exhausted. You know, I started getting the two confused. I show up to a house, like people were just upset with me when I show up to the house. Just like, where have you been? It's like I don't even know what job I'm on right now. Do you have the pepperoni, the dead grandmother? I don't even know what to do. I don't even know where I'm at anymore. It was always upsetting me. Yeah, it's craziness, man. I like what I do, but it's crazy. All the stuff I get to see, man, like it's always interesting. I'm just gonna confess something right now. Not even a joke. It's kind of like it's something I'm trying to work on, but I've seen a lot of stuff, you guys. I cremated the wrong body one time, you guys. Thank you for laughing. Yeah. It was actually very traumatic for me, but it's a thing that actually happened.
Wait, what did you say? You saw Rocky 3?
I cremated the wrong body.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, right?
What?
Yeah, I know. I'm not allowed back at that Chuck E. Cheese anymore, man.
What the heck? Oh, that's wait. We just talked about that a minute ago.
About Chuck E. Cheese or about cremating the wrong body?
About jokes. I don't know. You got to be careful about certain jokes
fun.
that have to do with Chuck E. Cheese. People get offended with, because they're banning the mouse book.
I heard about that.
Yeah, so you got to be careful with nice jokes.
With nice jokes.
Yeah.
We're very sensitive, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I like what I do, though, you guys. It's a difficult job because it's very emotionally it takes a toll on me mentally, man. But then I sort of realized, like even if I wanted to kill myself today, either way, I would still have to go to work tomorrow. I just have to go in the back door at that point, man. It's like there's no escape.
It never stops.
I love her. She's laughing. Oh, I love this so much. Thank you so much. She gets it. Thank you. Yeah, you guys. I love what I do, you guys. But like I said, it can get emotionally draining. But it gives me also a great appreciation for life, man. Like I'm really appreciative for what I have and the things I've seen, man. I'm gonna leave everybody with this. I don't know how much time I'm doing, but I'm gonna wrap up with this, man. Like,
Woo!
I've been doing this a long time, and like I can just say, especially through this past 2 years, man, I've learned. Enjoy every moment we have, you guys. Enjoy every moment we have. Like, enjoy those good moments. Like, weather through the bad moments because we only get so many moments in life, man.
Well, you got that right.
And like, never sweat the small stuff in life, guys. Never sweat the small shit in life, you guys. Never sweat the small shit.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. And I mean that literally because like I have picked up so many people off the toilet. And it's always those little itty bitty acorn-sized shit that gets them, you guys. It's always it never fails. Like, I pull them off the toilet. I'm expecting a big no. It's always those little acorn ones, you guys. Like realize we've all had them. Just realize like everybody shits themselves when they die. Like everybody. Like so that shit is like it's gonna work its way out of there.
It's a thing that happens, man.
It's a thing that happens. It'll work its way out of there. The real question is, are you? That's been my. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do one more joke real quick because Srandall said not to do these type of jokes, but I'm gonna do it.
Uh-oh. Well, he's the judge of the crowd, folks. The mortician's on duty.
Because like I love what I do because one of my favorite things about my line of work is like no matter how much of a terrible person you were in life, someone will miss you and love you to death. Like no matter what. Give you guys an example, like Adolf Hitler.
Right.
Like Hitler's parents, like they still loved him no matter what. That was still their little baby boy, you know?
Right.
I can imagine them making their funeral arrangements just like asking questions like, tell us about your boy. Like, well, first of all, he was a really good public speaker. Yeah, he was really good with the public speaking. Yeah. He also enjoyed a good barbecue. That's my last joke, you guys. Thank you guys so much. I've been Juan Cias, you guys.
We talked about that stuff.
We talked about it, but I broke that rule because that's what rules are made for, you guys. My name is Juan Cias. Thank you guys so much. You keep it going. Who's out there, your host, Mr. Srandall Slopez, everybody.
Yeah. Great. Take this over. Just keep it going. Fantastic. Thank you, my brother.
And now we know that it is evidently not too soon for that, whatever that was. And he's a credit to his race, ladies and gentlemen, whatever that was. Juan Cias. Thank you, Juan Cias. What a great job. He's a very funny man. Also, he broke the rule. Now we can all run the 4-minute mile. He's the Roger Bannister of comedy. He went there. Christina, right? Christina.
Yeah.
He went there. Juan Cias went there, man. He went there all the way. So we want to thank everybody that came out tonight. The Colton First Christian Comedy Club. Luke Savage, my friend. I owe you a drink and possibly some gas money. Thank you for coming out. I'll take care of you. And I want to say thank you especially to Brian Petrasek and to all of our friends that came out. Adriana, right? Adriana. Adrian. Yo? Adrian?
Yeah,
Really?
yo.
That's
Yo.
great. Fantastic. Christina, thank you. Selena, wonderful. Brian Petrasek, again, thank you. This was a big deal. He came through at the last minute. We were both greeting together over my dog, my beautiful dog. And he called me and said, do you want me to come over? It just so happened I did. And so he was able to step in this morning or later this afternoon, do a little extra. I want to thank Juan Cias for getting on the bill as he did, performing a great set. Thank you, Juan Cias. And again, to all of our friends, Dr. G, CD of Colton, Center Point Church, and we'll see you there on Sunday, Lord willing. Also, Colton First Assembly of God, and to all our friends out and about, we'll see you next time.
Woo!